Be blessed, people. Today, we will talk about, just sound in general, okay? Music, words, whatever. So, I often wonder why people will pay attention to Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens, and all of these people, and not pay attention to people like me who speak from the heart and isn't monetized because it's all about knowledge. So I would repeat what somebody wrote, a Sunni Muslim. Okay? His name is Rumi. Charlie Kirk had a deep, deep disdain for Muslims. He was an ultra white nationalist Christians. And what he didn't know is that not all Muslims are the same, not all Christians are the same. But Rumi wrote, lower your voice and raise your words. It's not the thunder that make the flowers grow. This is out of the scriptures also. It's not what you eat can defile you, what comes out. And just to shut up that rabbit hole, a lot of people are saying, oh, look, you could eat anything you want because he can't defile you. Lies. We were told by the Most High what to eat. You see, I don't have a religion. My religion is obedience. That's what it is. So if you obey, you cannot defile yourself, and that's what it is. If you eat what the Most High tells you, how can it defile you? So it's these words, the sound that's coming out of us that can defile us if we don't watch our words carefully. And this is how I try to live my life. I fail miserably at times. But I'm just saying. So, in my prior life, I wanted to be a studio musician. Started learning, started doing all these things. Yeah, the talent was there, the commitment wasn't, because life happened. Then I had my own room for my music, and whatever my son would get in there and detune my basses and whatever. But maybe one of these days I'll get back. But I know a lot about music. Okay? I know a lot about music. I know a lot about what the Indian gurus call our chakra points. I know that the earth emanates certain frequencies. Certain frequencies come out of space. There are certain lines on the earth which the witches and warlocks pay attention to, call ley lines, that come out of the earth. They call them lines of power. Okay? Music can be used for good. It could be used for bad. So I was listening to these people fight over, the music of today. And this black guy got on there and started talking about the gangster music and blah, 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 blah. And I said to him, I agree that the music that we consume today is misogynistic, is violent, and yada, yada. But I told him, I said, you chose to single out a black genre for music. But in totality, you will sit up there and award Coppola and Martin Scorsese with awards and accolades for glorification of gangsters. You see where the disconnect is? So this girl was talking about, oh, I listen to gospel and jazz. Yeah, Mary might be singing about Jesus. And Miles Davis might be playing So What as an angel, but Miles Davis had demons. Most of these artists has demons. Look at their lifestyle. Robert Johnson, named the father of the blues. He's talking about going down to the crossroads and sell his soul to the devil. Miles Davis had a tumultuous life. I don't know why, because he said his parents was rich. The man was miserable. He was a monster. But he put that horn in his mouth, he turned into an angel. So we are aware of what sound could do. David was called in to calm the demons of Saul by playing music to him. The same music was used to topple the walls of Jericho. It's said the angels communicate with groaning and moaning. That type of communication it's embedded deep into African culture. So I listen to Rihanna sing. And Rihanna reminds me of my grandmother, because in her music, I don't even know if she knows she's doing it. Maybe it comes out naturally. She would hum. My grandmother used to do it. A lot of black women in this country do it. A lot of black women all over the world do it. This is an innate ability we have. Humming brings us joy somehow. It connects us to some spirituality that brings calmness. My son did it. Even when he was little, time to eat, he will hum. He's happy. Even today, he still does it as a grown guy. He will hum every time it's time to eat. We have this innate connection, folks. So, I am saying to a lot of people, I was like, you were thinking gospel music is good because Mary sings about Jesus. But the wavelength, the sound it's been delivered on, it has demonic proprieties. You hear what I'm trying to tell you? Take this from somebody who knows about music. You hear about the devil's chord. Well, the devil's chord is a dissonant chord. You know, it sounds low, evil. Dissonance has its place in our lives, but it should never dominate. So, in the 1950s, the recorded industry switched from 432 hertz to record music and 440. They said it's easier to tune your instruments to 440 than 432. So all the music has been recorded in 440. Just for that reason. But I think it's bigger than that. You see, the book says we wrestle against not flesh and blood. These principalities, these evil principalities are taking over. So 440, when the scientist studies this frequency, the frequency delivers a dissonance that interrupts your health. Remember, our being, we operate on a certain frequency, on a certain electricity. So this frequency interrupts our very well-being. They have noticed that when exposed to these frequencies, not just 440, there's a bunch of dissonant frequencies out there. When exposed to these dissonant frequencies, our health declines. Our mood swings, just like in David. So David wasn't playing 440, I believe. He was playing somewhere at 528, I don't know, 432, to calm the demons that Saul had in him. So what the record industry did, with allowing all of the music to be recorded today in 440, they're exposing our demons within. People are known to react violently when exposed to this music. mood swings, you just name it, is associated with these dissonant frequencies. You see, a God is a God of equilibrium, unisons. That's where we're supposed to go to. So I would tell you, exposing that in music is that you play the same note on a high frequency, on a low, and on a high at the same time. And when they become unison, you hear this droning, this wobbling. That wobbling, this droning, this moaning that the angels are known to communicate with comes out of these frequencies when you play them together and they match. The same note will match and develop this unisons. This is what God is about. He's not about dissonance. To me, this is just my evaluation. The devil resides in the dissonant part of our culture. And 99.9% of our music is delivered in dissonance. So it doesn't matter if you listen to Mary Mary or NWA. Okay? NWA sings of what they know. They tell the truth is in a raw form. Mary Mary profess to be Christians. They sing what they know about. The key is delivered, is right in a wavelength of the devil. It's delivered in a dissonant frequency. Frequencies that are known to be destructive. This is where the book says you got to put on the whole armor. Doesn't matter if you listen. I like listening to Bob Marley. I really don't listen to gospel music because most of the music is absolute nonsense. Okay? You talking about going to heaven when I get up yonder. Do you know who wants to go up yonder? That's a Luciferian doctrine. The kingdom is coming here, like the Messiah repeated in the Lord's Prayer. The kingdom is coming here. Anybody who's here talking about going to heaven, run. That's the doctrine of Lucifer. But I'm saying, again, folks, I am not a sound engineer. I'm just a lowly industrial electrician, folks. But I wish I had to know how to negate some of this type of destructive signaling that's in the air. You see, when Moses went up to the Messiah, he told him to take his shoe off. He's standing on holy ground. So, you see, Moses had to put his foot in the ground. And the frequency emanating from this ground, he become unison with the Most High. Do you know the story after Moses remain in this presence, remain in this frequency? He started to take on the frequency of the Most High. They said Moses started to glow. When he came back, he had to hide his face because his face was glowing. He started embodying the presence of this frequency. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what to tell you. There are frequencies that emanating from the ground. You see, most of us are sickly because our footwear blocks out that frequency. I don't know, I tend to walk out in my grass barefoot, but I think most of you who have an opportunity, who has a house, instead of having a sandbox for the children to play, build something with some dirt. get some uncontaminated dirt, put it on the side of your house, and from time to time, take your shoe off and get connected. It's very important for our well-being. Stand in it, pray in it, release the stress. This goes especially for black people. Stress is a killer. Stress kills us. You know what's important? Because I grew up in the islands and I take the stars up there for granted. I've been living in the United States for 35 years, folks. One night, I had the audacity to drive down in the Keys to go fishing. And something told me to look up. I looked up and I was like, oh my God, forgive me. I forgot the wonders, the miracles, and everything you have created. I looked up in the sky, and the sky was plastered with stars. Our life has been corrupted by numerous amount of things. Light pollution is one of them. If our children only look up in the skies now and then, they would have questions. They would understand how insignificant we are in comparison to the bigger picture. You see, a lot of you people operate like that because you can't even see the stars. Some of you are atheists. You can't even believe God exists. Drive outside the city, outside of the light pollution. Look up. Just look up. The billions and billions and trillions. I'm saying, folks, not because this gospel music is good. Not all that cries, Lord, Lord, we're getting to the kingdom. He warns us. Not all gospel music is good. Music in totality is riding a wavelength of the devil. Our music resides in dissonance. Our society gravitates to dissonance. On your pulpit is dissonance. You guys in your Sunday churches with your 30-piece band, those instruments are tuned to dissonance. You got to pray without ceasing. Put on the whole armor. They said the devil is like a roaring lion, seeking for those he may devour. If you don't put on the whole armor is to know the word. Because we've been bombarded 24/7, 360. When the devil got kicked out, it says, woe unto the inhabitants of the earth. Remember that? Woe. This was the angels. They were so happy. The devil has been kicked out, and he said, woe unto the inhabitants of the earth. A third of the angels were kicked out. Book says the angels are innumerable. What is a third of innumerable? We can't conceive that number. It's an infinite number. And this is the infinity type problem we face with evil on this earth. But thank God, the good ones way outnumber the evil ones. This is the only one, the only thing that keeps us. You guys just don't know what you're dealing with. Now, you're not going to get this out of Charlie Kirk, who unfortunately was killed miserably. You would not get this out of Candace Owen and all of the others who are just dung beetles selling chocolate donuts. You see, the easiest way to the top is to climb on an N-word's back. That's what they think. None of you would get this kind of knowledge from these people, because the prime directive, I'm a Star Trek fan, the prime directive of these people is to fill their bank books. You hear what I'm trying to tell you? Even though they talk about the ills of black people, not one of them lifted a finger to fix it. And talking, but they're Christian. Well, when Jesus had that sermon, when he was talking to the people, they were there all day. And even him realized that if he allowed them to go home, they're going to faint on the way. And all that was said wouldn't register anymore. He grabbed fish and bread, multiplied, and he fed them. You have to do other things than talking, Candace Owen. I would say that to Charlie, but he's not here anymore. And all the rest are talking heads. If you're a Christian, you have to follow what Jesus did. If you love me, feed my sheep. You can't just talk, Candace Owen. You can't just talk, you talking heads. You have to lift a finger. Put your money where your mouth is. Put your expertise where your mouth is. This is what Jesus did. You want to be a Jesus follower? He fed the people who are starving, because he understands, yes, man cannot live by bread alone, but the key word is alone. Alone. So that we need both. We need both. I hope my words reach good soil. I don't do this for money, folks. You know what? I'm quite capable of doing it for money. I got the knowledge to do it for money. And you know what? Might be bald now, but I still have the looks to do it for money. But I don't. It's all about sharing knowledge. So we could summon our better angels to lift us out of this dissonance, of this dissonant culture. Like Rumi says, it's not the thunder that makes the flowers grow.